How's it going, everyone? I am Jeremy Alexander and welcome to another tutorial. This tutorial might be a little bit shorter than the other ones because I only have one thing to show you, but it's actually pretty important. So for the longest time, we've been putting our HUDs on our game layout, and we've just kind of been throwing them on there as a player health bar, but now with the linear platformer, we're probably going to get into doing more advanced HUDs and a lot of other things along the way. So I want to make sure that I have all the room I need to develop this. And what I can do, and we should actually start to do this for other objects as well, is I can put the HUD on a different layout altogether. Now, how is this going to work and how is this going to transfer to my game? Very easy, like everything else in Construct 2. I'm going to add a new layout. I'm not going to include an event sheet. I'm going to call this the HUD layout. And I'm going to change the layout size. So you can see here how big this is. It's 1708 by 960. I'm going to change the layout size to be the window size. So technically, yeah, I could just kind of use this window size and forget about this extra space, but it's going to be a lot more controlled if I turn the layout size to be 320 by 180. So now this is the exact size as my window size. If you're new to Construct 2, I suggest reading up on the window size a little bit more. Basically, we just throw in our HUD objects within the dotted lines here because that is what this equals here, our window size. And basically, what we're going to do here is we're doing everything that we would do, just we're doing it on a separate layer. So now we're just completely separating this. And this is what we should be doing for these objects that are outside of the game as well. We should be putting them on their own layer so they're not interfering. And that's probably something I'll be doing when I kind of redo this project with new artwork soon. So what I need to do to set this up correctly is I need to rename this. I'm going to call this the HUD. And I need to turn off the color. So I'm going to turn transparent to yes. Then what I want to do is I need to actually turn the parallax rate down to be 0 and 0. And I need to turn the scale rate down to 0. So the parallax is the speed, and the scale is when we actually zoom in or zoom out, which is something that I'm doing in this game. Will it stay where it's at? And if it's disabled, if it's at 0, then it'll actually stay right there. If I had this at 100, then it'll actually be smaller, as is the rest of the game. So hopefully that makes sense without really demonstrating that. But what I want to do now, and this is the most important part, I need to turn this layer's global property to yes. Now, any layer that has capital H, U, and D in it on any layout is going to be overridden with whatever is on this layer, which is how we get away with putting this on a separate layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag two HUD objects that I grabbed off the internet, and I'm going to show the grid. I'm going to snap to the grid, and I'm just going to kind of put these in the center here. And this is going to be, they mean absolutely nothing, they just look cool. That's going to be my HUD. So now what I need to do to complete this is I need to add a new layer to the game layout or to every single level that I do and just make it called HUD. And now I can lock this, and now I can hit play. And now you can see that I actually have a HUD, just like that. It's a lot easier to do it this way, and it's just something that I didn't do in the past. We didn't really have a need to do it in the past, but now that we're going to get into doing some more advanced stuff, making this linear platformer, I think it's time that we do so. So if I were to go into my game event and disable the layout scale here, and let me actually go back here, let me turn the scale rate back to 100 just so you can see. If I hit play on the game layout, you can see the fact that they are not scaling. They are, or I guess they are scaling essentially. They're not sticking to where they need to be. They're staying still because of the parallax rate being 0 and 0, but they're not in the window size, which is how big this project is. So we need to make sure that this is at 0 as well. And let me hit play again. And now we should be able to be zoomed out and still see our HUD at the proper size. So that's a quick tip for you. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Start designing this way because that's what we're going to be doing in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.